In this video, I'm going to talk about something that no prepper anywhere on YouTube is going to talk about. It's something you just won't hear them mention. Now, everybody knows that it's been all over the internet and it's been all over YouTube about the shortages and the coming crisis to America that is looming. We're soon going to experience a major diesel shortage, which is going to affect every single human being in this country, because everything is delivered by truck. We're going to see even greater shortages in the grocery stores and supplies in general. You're going to see deliveries being majorly impacted for people that order things via the internet. But when you visit prepper channels on YouTube, they will talk about all the things that you need to have. Stock up in this and stock up in that. But the one thing they won't talk about is the rate of consumption. You see, rate of consumption is the key for longevity. The longer something lasts, the longer you survive. And what they fail to talk about is the very thing that I am going to talk about in this video. I am 6 feet tall and I weigh 155 pounds. Matter of fact, I just recently lost 10 pounds because of SHTF surgery that I had on my neck, and I now weigh 145. 6 feet tall and 145 pounds. Anytime that I go into Waddle World, at that time when I'm in the store, I'm the thinnest man in there. The thinnest guy. Every time I go in there, I never see anyone as thin as I am. And I'm going to tell you why that is. There is nothing in this world that will change you more than starvation. And I know all too well what that's like, because in 1989, I was literally starving to death. Many on my channel know the story that I was homeless in 1989. But since then, I have never gone back to the life that I had prior to that. The food that I survived on was next to nothing. I lived on cookies for a year. To this day, I cannot stand to look at a Little Debbie cookie, and I sure as hell will never eat one again. I eat only 2 times a day. And in this video, I'm going to show you how I eat every single day. The portions are tiny. And it's because I acclimated myself to have a stomach only this big. This big. This is the God's honest truth. What you're looking at right here is my lunch and my supper. I'm so acclimated from being homeless back in 1989 that ever since that year, I eat very, very little food. I know I can survive on the food that I have because it lasts 4 times longer than your average American. Not many people have acclimated themselves to survive on very little food. Right here is only 2 slices of bread. 2 slices of bread. 1 egg. That's my lunch. A half a jar of Prego spaghetti sauce that I put in the fridge last night, because last night I had a little bit of pasta and a half a jar of Prego sauce, and this is a 14-ounce jar. 1 14-ounce jar makes 2 suppers for me. I use 50% and save the other 50% for a second supper, so I get 2 suppers out of 14 ounce of spaghetti sauce. My pasta container, when I make supper, I basically boil only enough pasta that I can hold in my hand. That's how much I eat, and half the sauce to cover it. That's my supper. So just out of this container, I can get 4 meals, 4.5 meals out of just this small container, and you can see just how small it is. It's almost the same size as this jar. And then when it's empty, I take out the pasta box and I refill it. When I make a box of macaroni and cheese, I only make 50%, so I get 2 meals out of one box. When I use rice packets, I break it in half and I get 2 meals out of one rice packet by Knorr. I literally break the packet in half. I'll dump it into a bowl, I'll stir it up, I'll separate it after it's been mixed together so I get an equal 50% of ingredients. And then I will put half the bowl into the boiling water, dump the other half of the bowl back into the package, and then fasten it up like this. This is how people are going to survive when the shit hits the fan. It's not the people that shovel food in their mouth all day long. Those people are going to need their own personal Sam's Club warehouse to survive because they eat so much food. The ones that will survive can live on next to nothing. But when you go into Waterworld, you see a population of Americans that will never make it. They will never make it. When you see these people, you got to think about, to get that size, how many times from the time they wake up in the morning until the time they go to bed, how many times their hand is raising up to their mouth to put something in their mouth to eat. These people eat all day long, multiple meals, and snack in between. You can't eat that much food every single day and expect to have enough supplies to survive if this society were to collapse. If the trucks no longer brought all your favorite snacks to your favorite shopping center. If there was no more food on the shelves that you so enjoy to eat. These people are going to be among the dead. For one, there isn't going to be enough food to satisfy their enlarged stomachs, and they surely are not going to be in any physical shape to do anything that has to do with survival. Absolutely not. These people will be the first to go. Being acclimated to eating very little food means that whatever you have in your pantry, on average, is going to last 4 times to 5 times longer than the average stock of food in any given American's home. People have to think about this. Survival doesn't favor those who are lazy, that sit on their ass so long that it literally pops out to the front side of their body. They're just not going to make it. You can't sit around and eat all day long every day and just assume that food is always going to be there to satisfy your atrocious hunger. It's just not going to happen. All things come to an end. And if you really want to make it in this world, you got to be smart, you have to be acclimated, and you have to be used to the things that most people are not used to. Because see, we live in a country where everything is plentiful. Everything is always there. And people are under this false illusion that things are always going to be there, and the day is coming where now it's not going to be. Now what are they going to do? What are these people going to do? They're going to starve to death. That's what they're going to do. And they're going to starve to death fast because their stomach can't last any longer than a day because they're so used to just filling it full of food. If I caught one 12-inch trout and filleted it, you get 2 fillets off that fish down the left side and down the right side. For me, that's 2 meals, 2 days out of the week that I can survive on one fish. How many people can eat that very little of food and that's all they have for the day and their stomach never growl the rest of the day? I can do that. And I have done that. There's a lot of times I don't eat breakfast. A lot of times I skip lunch and I'll only eat once a day. And that's at supper time, and it's very little food. And then I go to bed and I don't eat again until I wake up in the morning. No snacking, no nothing. People have to think about this. And all the preppers that are out there and all these survival channels, they tell you what you got to have, how much of it to get, but they don't tell you how to ration it, how to be acclimated to using a lot less of what you have to stretch it long term. Because you could hoard up all the food in the world and have a barn full of canned goods and dried goods, but if you have a voracious appetite and you're going through that food at an incredible rate, how long do you think that's going to last you? It's not going to last you very long. Why they don't cover this topic, why they don't talk about the realities that we see out there every day, this is not about being mean to people and putting people down. It's the truth. We live in an obese society. America is the fattest country on planet Earth, and nobody's doing a damn thing about it. That's why diabetes are at an all-time high, heart disease is at an all-time high, people dying of cancer, people are getting so big, they're 4 times their normal body weight. They're not going to make it. So if you're somebody watching this video that is like that, and you live on a lot of food every day, there's nothing I can say to you about preparing. There's absolutely no advice I could give you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.